Mitsuhiro Arita is my favorite artist of the Pokemon TCG. He has loads of different styles, and his cards certainly do include some unique ones. Not to mention he drew possibly the most iconic card in the game. So, I'm starting at the beginning and looking at every single unique card illustrated by this artist. If you want to keep up with these videos, click that subscribe button and the bell, and choose all notifications. Here we go! Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the Arita Illustrator Collection series. So we're starting off in the middle of jungle here. We've got Spearow, as I bring the camera down to the front. Spearow right here. Now, I actually started with collecting in Japanese. A friend of mine got me a Tamamushi City Gym deck. That's the Arita equivalent deck in Japanese. So all of my early cards were Japanese, most of them from Japan, and there you go. So I started with Japanese cards. Lickitung here. Execute. Now this starts to show off where Arita really started to do well with lighting, and that was one thing that people said stand out, that people recognize his art for. Not all of it has such a high detail on that lighting, but much of it does, like this Execute, especially as time went on. Clefable here. Dodrio. Now these cards you might notice are not in order of evolution. Dodrio, Doduo, or Dodugo. Oh, it's on the other page. That's because, of course, they are in mostly chronologic order by set, but they're not necessarily in set number. There's 34. Come on, focus up. There's 52 being Execute. So I just put them in the order for trying to make it look better on the page. But I do try to order them by set. Rapidash, really nice illustration artwork there. Love that one. Just like you're found it in the wild, like something you take in Pokemon Snap, if Pokemon Snap had nice detailed graphics. But they are coming out with a sequel to it as I film this. Magmar. Really cool lighting there on the Magmar. Part of him looks like he's glowing up top here. And then also he's getting lit from below from this lava. Now we've got the legendary trio, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. Whoa, doesn't like the reflection. Moltres. I kind of wish that I had these in non-holo so we could see the illustration more like Moltres. But these two don't have a whole lot going on in the background. This version also, there's an error here many of you probably know about. You can see up in the top right, top left there, excuse me, a void where there would be a evolution box. There is a corrected version of that. There's also a Cosmo Holo, as some people call it, or a Planets and Stars Holo. And then there's, of course, the original Stars holographic pattern there, too. Ghastly. The first time we see a non-kind of specific shaped Ghastly in the TCG. Grimer here. One of the first times we see a lot of background with Arita's cards as well, where the Pokemon is not necessarily the main focus. I mean, he takes up a minority of the illustration there, unlike Ghastly, which literally that's the whole illustration. And we got Muck here. Raichu. Not the first time we see Raichu in the trading card game. Crabby. This is not the error version, but there is a version where there's a weird kind of void in the middle of the fossil symbol there. Something I didn't really notice before, you might see there's a little bit of maybe like a lensing effect up here. I hadn't noticed that before. That's one thing I love about Arita, is that you can look at the cards a dozen times and then still find something new after that. There's just so much detail. And you don't also get that when you have computer illustrated cards, and that's something that he talks about in interviews and things like that. Horsey, Psyduck. And I've got the Japanese Psyduck here because I have the Japanese Golduck here. One of the coolest illustrations I thought in the early days. Pokemon actually using an attack. Psybeam, maybe? I don't know, but you can see the light reflecting off the water there as it gets forced away. And that beam just flying out there past the viewer. Flareon. Jolteon. Vaporeon. And if I had one in Japanese, I gotta have all of them in Japanese, of course. Primeape. Dark Primeape, excuse me. Shadowing there on the tree limb. Very interesting. Dark Slowbro. One of the first cards with a trainer in the background. Little Team Rocket grunt there looking menacing. And Dark Dragonite. Yes, it's non-hollow. No, it's not the error. There is an error version with the hollow number, but it is non-hollow, and it shows up in the uncommon slot, apparently. Here we've got Zubat. Many people love this illustration, one of the first ones that really jumped out to them. Then Golbat, right next to it. And we've got a Dark Raichu. Now, this was originally in the Neo Discovery set in Japan, but Wizards of the Coast said, hey, we're going to put that as a secret rare in the Team Rocket set, and it's actually pretty cool. Then we got Dark Machoke here, Dark Machamp. Here we got a Dark Urbach, another example of different coloring. Camera gets out of focus there. This one is the W Wizards promo. And fun fact, all of the Dark Urbach have a funny misprint here where it says like 200,000 to whatever. Like the year is just really weird. See if it'll focus there. But on this one promo, it does not have that error. That is the correct date there, if you can see. There we go. Then we come down to Dark Blastoise, the first time that Arita drew Blastoise. Fun card here, fun background. Trying to see just the background, not the hollow there for you. Then we have some Japanese exclusives from the Bulbasaur side deck. We've got the man himself, Bulbasaur, running at the camera there. As my camera tries to focus, there we go. Fun illustration, and of course, if I'm going to do an Arita collection, I have to have all of the Japanese specific ones included. There we go. And it's Evolution Companion Ivysaur, the first time that Arita drew Ivysaur. This is where it gets hard for me to determine whether I should put these cards in order by release or chronologic order or what. So this is where they start to get out of order. Well, 2 more pages down and many more to go. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.